What I'm trying to do, this is unbelievable, is I'm trying to find something that will fit the screw top, because it's not a proper Phillips head screw top for this Evo 3 Simrad. It's a 12-inch, so that I can take this out. Now, I've got no idea what I'm doing, but what I have to try to do to save us a little bit of coin is to take that 12-inch Evo 3 out and replace it with this brand new, exactly the same 12-inch Evo 3. It's a bit of a story, but hang around, because if you're thinking about buying a Simrad GPS chart plotter fish finder, you want to watch this video first. Let's get out there. This is going to be terrible. Yeah, you'd think they'd just have a normal Phillips head top to be able to unscrew this, but Simrad, for some reason in this model, have got the most obscure square type top for their screws that I've ever seen. And I've been up whatever and down Dorothy trying to find one, but I've got to go out now and find a kit that has the next level down. In the new ones, in this new Simrad, they've obviously learnt, probably because the tradies were giving them stick about how hard it is to find the tops of these things, and the new screws are Phillips head, or the cross type, so they're much more common. But the reason why I'm doing it, like I said, was to save some money and save towing the whole boat back into the dealership just to reinstall another new Simrad, because this one here is buggered, and it's buggered for a very simple reason that we never thought would happen, and that is these units here are not completely waterproof like they say. I'll give you the story of what we went through and what you should look out for if you're going to have one of these excellent units in your boat, and they are very good, but you should know that they can fail, and when they do fail, it's going to cost a lot of money. So this fault started kind of gradually, which is why we didn't really cotton on to it. We just thought it was a bit glitchy, because first of all, we started losing our maps. They were starting to glitch out on us. They were disappearing at times and then coming back, and we were thinking, what's going on here? This was just briefly. And then before we knew it, all of a sudden, the maps were gone completely. And that's when I thought, well, obviously there's some problem with the card reader or something like that. So I opened up the card reader, which is this little latch here, and the first thing I saw was that it looked like there was a bit of surface rust there, and I went, oh no. So unbeknownst to us, this bit of sea spray and salt water dripping through onto the unit was making its way into the card reader. So if you've got an open boat like this one, it's got clears on it here now, but water can still get in. So you'll get sea spray coming through that will run onto the Simrad or the front dash. So I tried to clean out the card reader as best as I could. A little bit of oil, nothing too fancy, bit of cotton wool bud, those types of things, and just could not get the maps to work again. So my initial thoughts then was, well, maybe I just have to change the module, you know, the card reader in the Simrad unit, because they're about $5,000, the whole unit to buy. And that's a lot of money, obviously. And I was thinking, well, a lot of electronics are modularized these days, and in my head, the card reader really is a separate thing. So it makes sense that the card reader inside the unit might be separate, and you could just swap them out and get a new one. It's kind of confusing because Simrad doesn't go under Simrad name here in Australia. If you're going to call or ask about warranty issues with their units, you have to go through Navico. And I didn't know that. I just thought it'd be Simrad Australia. And I had to jump through quite a few hoops, including just all going back to the dealer, because I'd send emails online to other areas and places that they said you can contact Simrad Australia through, and I just wasn't getting any replies. So I went back to the dealer and I said, look, do you have a contact for these guys? And then I finally got a contact for them, and I asked them, can I just swap out the card readers in these units? And they said, no, you can't. They're one unit. And if your card reader's gone or blown, well, then you have to change the whole unit. Imagine that. So that in itself is pretty much a design flaw. So for me, I was already thinking, well, a good bit of feedback for Simrad would be, why do you even have a card reader that can ingress with water? Why not just have a flat unit and then download the maps wirelessly onto the unit, you know, or upload it through the back of the unit with a USB drive or something like that. It's just odd and a bit archaic that you've got a card reader on the front of the unit anyway. But that's another story. So then I of course asked if I could get this replaced under warranty, because I was in my mind I was thinking, well, yes, I suppose a man could have been checking that card reader door to make sure that water wasn't getting in there, but I'm not like a very experienced boatie to begin with. And number two, I actually trusted that it was waterproof, and the less I opened that door up, the better in my mind. And I didn't think there was a reason for me to check that until I started getting faults. So I thought that a claim for warranty was justified. But when I asked, Simrad come back to me, or Australian Simrad or Navico got back to me and said, unfortunately, you're just outside of warranty by a couple of months. And they would not move on that full replacement. And so of course I was a bit upset with that. I was thinking, well, I feel like I'm a bit cheated here. A, I don't think it's my fault, and B, just being outside of warranty, can't you not have any wriggle room for me? And well, they didn't. So they did offer me an olive branch, and the olive branch was that if I sent back my unit to them, they would replace it with a refurbished unit, so not brand new, but a refurbished unit that's obviously been used, and then maybe it was broken like mine and then they've fixed it up. They would swap that with a refurbished unit for about $3,000. In the meantime, I thought I would talk to my trusty Stabicraft dealer at Northside Marine, which is Mark Golden. I was thinking, if I was wasting money getting another unit put in there, would it make much of a difference to my trade-in or resale value of the boat anyway? And in the end, it's working out that we're getting new units instead of a refurbished unit like we were going to get for this boat, or nothing. And it's going to cost us a lot. It's going to cost us a bit less than what it would have to get the refurbished unit, if you can follow me. So we're getting a pretty good deal, and the Northside Marine, as always, is very generous, has been very generous to us with not just advice, but also giving us the best prices on boats and equipment when we buy it from them. So yeah, Northside Marine, again, I'm giving you a sure plug, not that they sponsor us at all, it's just that they've been fantastic for us being new boaties and not having a clue, and holding us by the hand and helping us out a lot of the time at their expense for time and money. So that's where we're at now. We're going to swap out this old unit there with the new unit. Oh, and by the way, because it had rusted out so much, when I did go to put it, because I thought initially, I forgot to tell you this, I thought initially the card had rusted, not the card reader. And so I actually purchased a new card, $300 CMAP, and I put it in and I lost it. It fell into the back of the unit somewhere. It was just like, what? And then I realized it was all rusted out. Now, yeah, so that's what we're up to. We're swapping those units out. So at the end of the day, please follow this advice. A lot of you out there probably know this already. I didn't, and a lot of new boaties need to know this. The card reader there has a magnet in it, and that keeps the door shut. It does not stop water from getting into the unit. It's not completely waterproof. So if you do get any water over your bow, or if you're in an open boat and you get one of these units with a card reader on the front, I don't think they're going to change anytime soon, because we spoke to Simrad at the latest boat show at Sanctuary Cove in May, and they said the same thing. They said there's no plans at all to change these units. So I'm assuming they're going to keep these card readers in them for a long time to come. I hope they don't. I hope they see this video and they take it on board and they start getting into changing the way their units are, and maybe the Evo 4 does come without the card reader. And at the end of the day, what happened was, it wasn't just the maps that weren't working, it was the whole unit got fried. The whole unit went blank and black, and this happened to us out there, out in the open blue, and we had to tap it a few times, and eventually it came back. But then it kept getting worse, and in the end the thing gave up the ghost and went completely black, and we can't get it back. Once I got those existing screws out, the whole Simrad replacement went pretty easy. It was just following the bouncing ball and replacing the plugs that the old one was in with the new one, and that was it. We tested the unit, it actually works really good. And we've noticed that there must have been a few upgrades, even though it looks exactly the same as the old unit. There's new software in there. It seems to be a bit faster as well. I suppose it would be if it's not full of seawater. No, well, seriously, even before that, the unit always did run pretty good, but this new unit seems to be a little bit quicker as well, so that's a good bonus. And yeah, overall I'm happy with the fit. It's the first time I've ever put a sounder into a boat. I know I didn't do all the wiring and that out the back, but you know, just to do a simple replacement, at least we didn't have to take it in to the dealership to get that done. So I'm pretty satisfied that we did that ourselves. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you give it a big fishy thumbs up. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And look, thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.